All right, good afternoon, everyone, and welcome. Nice to be with you all right here at beautiful Quigley Stadium in West Haven, Connecticut. The first pitch of the 2013 high school baseball season coming your way. Greg Zullo out in the mound, fresh out of that hockey uniform for the Green Knights of Notre Dame. The pitch, he's a right-hander, as we're just about set to get going here. Tyler Tice, the shortstop for Shelton, will lead things off here. He swings from the right side. Then you'll have Mike Cole, the second baseman, Marcelo Yersini, the center fielder, the bat third, Ryan Testani, the pitcher today, hitting in the cleanup spot. And the first pitch, and the season is underway. They're not using the scoreboard today, so my man Dan Alvarado will be trying to keep the score for us, which could be quite interesting as we move along. So nice to be with all of you right here on GoGreenKnights.com as we'll run down the rest of that batting order for you. The left fielder batting fifth, that's Mike Farrow. Then back at the third baseman batting seventh. Batting eighth will be Justin Lynch, the first baseman today, as that pitch is in for the strike. Pat Murphy, the right fielder, batting eighth. And batting ninth will be the catcher, Ed Groth. Of course, the Shelton team fresh off a Class Double-L championship with a nice win over South Windsor last year as that ball's fouled off down the third base side now to play. Aiden Burton behind the plate catching the balls and strikes for the Green Knights of Notre Dame. Very young team. Both these teams, of course, going through some changes. One of the big changes for Notre Dame today is Griffin Garabedian. He is out of the lineup with an ankle injury, so he's not in uniform, not playing today. Ground ball rolled down to second base, a throw on the first, and beating it out is Tice. It was hit rather slowly, and trying to chase it down was Wesley Paulson as he charged it and threw over to first to win, but not in time. That's an infield single for Tyler Tice to lead things off here in the top of inning number one. So top of the first inning, and Shelton with a runner on. These two teams met a couple of times last year during the regular season in the SCC, and they split. Notre Dame winning the first game 4-0, and then Shelton coming back to win the back end of that season series by the score of 7-3. Shelton really getting hot late in the year, went all the way to the SCC championship game before bowing to Amity. Here's a pitch on the bunt attempt. It's going to be fouled off. Runner Tice back to the bag at first as Cole at the plate. Coel, the second baseman for Shelton. He is a sophomore. Of course, Scott Gura, the head coach of the Shelton Gales, and Luke Kessler, the head coach, the manager of the Green Knights of Notre Dame. Running down at first base is Tyler Tice here in the top of inning number one. Do have a gusting wind at times. That pitch is bunted up in the air, taken by Zullo coming off the mound. Cowell is retired. Tice forced back to the bag at first. So the sacrifice bunt does not work, and there's one down. Just what the doctor ordered for the Green Knights of Notre Dame. Luke Kessler hoping he gets a lot of innings out of Greg Zullo today and can shut down a very potent Shelton offense. Both these teams highly regarded in the New Haven Register Top 10 baseball poll that we'll talk about as the game moves along here today. Zullo from the stretch with a runner at first. That's Tice. Here comes a pitch to the plate, in for the strike caller Orsini, the center fielder. He was part of that state championship run a year ago. Certainly had a terrific year. He's a senior captain for the Gales this season, coming with all that experience, batting from the right side. Throw to the bag at first, and sliding on back is Tyler Tice. Tice reaching on the infield single. He's still at first with one down here in the top of the first inning of play. Not a bad crowd on hand for the 4 o'clock start, opening day, and that pitch is going to be in there for the swinging strike. Sun shining right into our broadcast location today. Zullo climbs back up on top of the hill. Bruno in left field for the Green Knights of Notre Dame. The outfield playing straight away, and that pitch rides up high. Running down at first, Tyler Tice. Gargiulo in right field. He's seen plenty of time for head coach Luke Kessler throughout the years. There goes a runner, Tice. The pitch down low. The throw, and sliding in safely is Tice. He hesitated to throw a little bit to the shortstop side. And the tag by Paulson not in time on the throw by Aiden Burton. Boy, it looked very close, like they had a good chance to get him there. And Tice able to sneak in under the tag with a stolen base. Down the bag at second now with one down. So Orsini with a runner in scoring position. Zullo checks the runner down at second. He's into the windup and the pitch. Swing and a miss, and that's a big strikeout. First of the ball game for Greg Zullo. He needed that right there with a runner in scoring position. So now you have two down. And it brings up Ryan Testani, the pitcher. He was a hero for the Shelton Gales in the state championship game. Pitched his team to that fine win, 7-2 over South Windsor. Also had a big day at the plate, if I remember correctly. Here comes the pitch, and that's a curveball in for the strike by Greg Zullo. Wind blowing out a bit towards right center field. So if you get it up in the air, it's not all that deep to right here at Quigley. Very high fence, however. Here comes the pitch to the plate. Testani belts that into the ground foul to the third base side. Mike Farrow on deck for Shelton. Joe Arciolo, the center fielder, by the way, for the Green Knights today. Here comes the pitch to the plate, and that's low and away for a ball. Troy Terzi playing third base. Brian Roan is a shortstop. You've already met the second baseman. That's Wesley Paulson and Brandon Wynn at first. Two down, runner at second. The pitch up and in to Ryan Testani. Both these teams with recent success in state tournament play. Green Knights won the 2011 Class L championship, you might remember, on that famous squeeze play. Brought home Griffin Garabedian. Ground ball hit down to the shortstop and thrown across. Is going to get away from Wynn, and scoring on the play alertly is Tyler Tice. A throw a little low. Wynn couldn't scoop it up. Testani safe at first, and they score a run to make it 1-0 to Shelton. I guess you're going to have to, go E6 on that? I'll wait for the official scores up here in the booth to give me the word on that. Throw was a bouncing throw. E6 will be the official word for my official score. Down press row. So Ferrero to the plate with a runner at first. So the stolen base, an infield hit, a stolen base, and an error. And Shelton has a 1-0 lead. Testani wants a jacket. It is a tad chilly outside. All right, Testani getting dressed. Both these teams, of course, playing out of the SCC. Green Knights play out of the Quinnipiac division, and Shelton out of the Housatonic. Here comes a pitch, and that's in there for the strike call to Vero. Vero playing left field today. Outfield remains just about straight away. Here comes a Zullo pitch, and that's down low. Then back it on deck for Shelton. Here in the top of one. Shelton on top, 1-0. It'll be an unearned run. Here comes a pitch, and that ball popped up and fouled off first base side towards the concession stand, which is not open, much to the chagrin of my producer extraordinaire, Dan Alvarado. Coming straight from school, he had to make a long walk downhill from Notre Dame to get here today, along with Ryan Varillo, helping us out on GoGreenKnights.com. That pitch up high. You earned 2 gold stars for that, by the way, guys. 2 gold stars. Both these teams, as we mentioned prior to the first pitch, losing a lot of key players to their success over the last couple of years. Shelton no longer has Brian Condor, their outstanding all-Housatonic catcher, third-team all-state player in the New Haven Register. Ryan Dice, the all-state second-team member. Zarnaski, the outstanding senior third baseman, lost to graduation. There's a little fly ball hit out to right field, kind of a check swing fly ball by Ferraro. Flies out to right, and that will do it as it's put away by Brian Gargiulo. So that's going to do it in the top of inning number 1. In the inning, you had 1 run on 1 hit. 1 runner left on base, was a costly error thrown in. All right, we'll take a break. We'll be back with more. The bottom of the first with your score, Shelton on top of Notre Dame, 1-0. Back with more after these words.
It's good, doesn't it? But you forgot something. All that saturated fat. Why not try Longini sausage instead? Other leading brands contain more than twice the saturated fat than Longini. Made with all natural ingredients, perfectly spiced with just enough salt, Longini sausage is the healthier choice. Made fresh locally in New Haven since 1950. Look for the Longini label in your grocer's fresh meat section. Looks good, doesn't it? But you forgot something. All that saturated fat. Why not try Longini sausage instead? Other leading brands contain more than twice the saturated fat than Longini. Made with all natural ingredients, perfectly spiced with just enough salt, Longini sausage is the healthier choice. Made fresh locally in New Haven since 1950. Look for the Longini label in your grocer's fresh meat section. Looks good, doesn't it? But you forgot something. All that saturated fat. Why not try Longini sausage instead? Other leading brands contain more than twice the saturated fat than Longini. Made with all natural ingredients, perfectly spiced with just enough salt, Longini sausage is the healthier choice. Made fresh locally in New Haven since 1950. Look for the Longini label in your grocer's fresh meat section. Looks good, doesn't it? But you forgot something. All that saturated fat. Why not try Longini sausage instead? Other leading brands contain more than twice the saturated fat than Longini. Made with all natural ingredients, perfectly spiced with just enough salt, Longini sausage is the healthier choice. Made fresh locally in New Haven since 1950. Look for the Longini label in your grocer's fresh meat section. Looks good, doesn't it? But you forgot something. All that saturated fat. Why not try Longini sausage instead? Other leading brands contain more than twice the saturated fat than Longini. Made with
Ivy League Landscaping is a family-owned, full-service design and build landscape company which services Southern Connecticut. We offer digital landscape design and installation. Our interlocking concrete paver system will add beauty to your patio and walkway. We share our location with our own Soundview Landscape Supply. Please visit us at 50 Industry Drive in West Haven. Ivy League Landscaping, from custom design to seasonal maintenance and supplies. Visit our website at ivyleaguelandscaping.com.
All right, welcome right back here to a beautiful Quigley on a kind of brisk early spring afternoon. First game of the season for both Shelton and the Green Knights of Notre Dame. Of course, we're underway with full coverage of high school baseball and lacrosse on GoGreenKnights.com. Looking forward to it. Brian Roan, the shortstop, to lead things off for Notre Dame. Drew Archiolo to bat second. Greg Zullo, the pitcher, to hit third against the very talented Ryan Testani, the right-hander. He's a tough one to beat. 1 run could be enough the way he can throw the baseball. Pasqualino Bruno Jr. Zachary Balabon, the designated hitter, as a fly ball out to right by Roan for the out, so 1 down. So it brings up Bruno to the plate. Bruno swinging from the right side. Oh, check that. I was just writing his name down. Archiolo coming to the plate, excuse me. The center fielder, playing a little catch-up here with our lineup card. Testani into the windup. It's like a preseason game for us. These guys are into their first game of the year. I feel just about straight away. I'm still in hockey mode. I don't know about anybody else out there. Of course, Notre Dame making it all the way to the state championship game in ice hockey before falling to Fairfield Prep. Archiolo, also a football player for Notre Dame, and of course playing under the tutelage of head coach Tom Marcucci. That pitch missed outside for the ball. So the count goes to 3 balls and no strikes. Greg Zullo on deck. Bottom of the first, 1-0 lead for Shelton. Here comes a Testani pitch, and that's in for the strike call. Archiolo thought he had the walk, was going to toss the bat away, and now the count 3 balls and 1 strike. You're talking about some of the key members of last year's Shelton's championship team. That ball's kind of lobbed right out there to the second baseman, and Kyle put that away for the out. So there's 2 down, and Zullo coming to the plate. Notre Dame losing Michael Panza, the graduation. He was all Quinnipiac player. Michael Leah. Gary Flowers, the all-state pitcher. And an outstanding catcher in Anthony DiCaprio. And today, they're without Garabedian. They're all Quinnipiac center fielder. Here comes Testani's pitch to the plate with the bases empty and 2 down. Down low, ball 1 to Greg Zullo. Zullo, a very talented athlete, as we mentioned, has played baseball and, of course, won a state championship in 2011, also a state championship on the ice for the Green Knights. Will play some third base, shortstop, very versatile player is Greg Zullo. Ryan Testani looking in for the sign. The right-hander into the windup and the pitch, and that ball is hit on the ground and through the right side of the infield for a base hit. So Zullo with a 2-out single. And Notre Dame has their first hit of the ball game here in the bottom of 1. It brings up the cleanup hitter, Brandon Wynn. Wynn, the first baseman today. Zullo's going to put a jacket on at first. He has some speed. He's a threat to steal a base. Here comes the pitch, and that's up high. Of course, on that 2-1 win we were talking about over Farmington in 2011 to win the Class L championship, Garabedian with that beautiful suicide squeeze bunt. He had all that speed out of that left-hander's batter's box. Christian Baglini scoring the winning run. There's a ball hit out to the gap. Right center field's going to get past Orsini. Zullo will stop at the bag at third. That was pretty good recovery out there by Murphy, the right fielder, along with Orsini to hover around that baseball. May have slowed Zullo down just enough. But he goes first to third on the long single into right center by Brandon Wynn. So the Green Knights now have runners at first and third with 2 down. And here comes Bruno to the plate, the left fielder. Bruno is a senior. He's been waiting his chance to compete here at the varsity level. And right now, a great opportunity to make his mark for Notre Dame. Green Knights trailing 1-0 here in the bottom of the first. Zullo with a short lead from the bag at third. Testani will work from the stretch. The pitch to the plate, and that's inside ball 1. Zachary Balaban, the sophomore, on deck for Notre Dame. Testani will check the runners at third and first. No advance either side. No throw. Outfield remains just about straight away. Orsini not playing all that deep in center. Likewise is Farrow in left field, very shallow. The right fielder, Murphy, may be a little deeper. That pitch in for the strike. Now it goes to 1 ball and 1 strike to Bruno. Zullo with the lead from the bag at third. Win at first. Testani into the windup. Here comes the pitch. That ball popped up, fouled off towards the first base side. Now to play over the concession stand. Wind shifting just a little bit out there in, with the flag blowing above the concession stand. Testani looking in for that sign, trying to get out of this jam with 2 down and 2 on. Right-hander to the windup and the pitch. That ball hit high up into the air to the left side of the infield. It's going to be wind blown. Could be trouble. Shortstop coming over, and Tice will make the catch. Boy, Backett had trouble trying to find it, and he was backed up by Tice, who makes the catch on the infield pop-up, and that will end the inning. So 2 left on by the Green Knights of Notre Dame. No runs, 2 hits, and 2 left on. We've completed 1 full, and your score on opening day, Shelton Gales 1. The Green Knights of Notre Dame nothing. We'll be back with more right after these important messages.
Ivy League Landscaping is a family-owned, full-service design and build landscape company which services Southern Connecticut. We offer digital landscape design and installation. Our interlocking concrete paver system will add beauty to your patio and walkway. We share our location with our own Soundview Landscape Supply. Please visit us at 50 Industry Drive in West Haven. Ivy League Landscaping, from custom design to seasonal maintenance and supplies. Visit our website at ivyleaguelandscaping.com. Ivy League Landscaping is a family-owned, full-service design and build landscape company which services Southern Connecticut. We offer digital landscape design and installation. Our interlocking concrete paver system will add beauty to your patio and walkway. We share our location with our own Soundview Landscape Supply. Please visit us at 50 Industry Drive in West Haven. Ivy League Landscaping, from custom design to seasonal maintenance and supplies. Visit our website at ivyleaguelandscaping.com. Ivy League Landscaping is a family-owned, full-service design and build landscape company which services Southern Connecticut. We offer digital landscape design and installation. Our interlocking concrete paver system will add beauty to your patio and walkway. We share our location with our own Soundview Landscape Supply. Please visit us at 50 Industry Drive in West Haven. Ivy League Landscaping, from custom design.
All right, welcome right back here to Quigley. And leading things off for Shelton, swinging at the first pitch and flying out the right field to Gargiulo is Vin Backett. So Backett, the third baseman, leading things off with a fly ball out the right. Greg Zulo out in the mound. 1-0 Shelton with the lead. Trying to get our TriCaster to play the commercials in the proper order. It's not doing that for us. I don't know what's going on. Justin Lynch to come to the plate now. He's the first baseman for the Shelton Gales. Here comes the pitch to the plate. Lynch, a sophomore, one of the younger guys on the team for Scott Gura. Here comes the pitch from Greg Zulo. That's a tad high. Looks like he has pretty good size out there, does right-handed hitting first baseman Justin Lynch. Pat Murphy on deck. He's a junior right fielder. That pitch is in for the strike. Outfield just about straight away. Infield at normal depth with 1 down. Nobody on here for Shelton in the top of 2. That pitch down in the dirt. Aiden Burton behind the plate. Didn't see much time last year for the Green Knights of Notre Dame with Anthony DiCaprio behind the plate handling the pitchers. Did an outstanding job. The wind-up, the Zulo pitch, and that's up high ball 4, so he loses them. And Lynch down to the bag at first with 1 out, brings up Pat Murphy. That is the first walk issued by Zulo today. Had a strikeout back in the first. If you're just tuning in, Shelton scored a run back in the first inning. Infield base hit by Tice to start the ball game. He'd steal a base, and with 2 out, a throwing error led to a run. And they stranded Testani at the bag at first, so there was no RBI for Ryan Testani on the play. So they did not get the ball out of the infield, yet produced a run. Here comes the pitch, and it's in for the strike call to Murphy. Count now 1 ball and 1 strike to Pat Murphy. Eddie Groth on deck. Playing rather deep is Gargiulo in right field. Throw to the bag at first, runner back in time. Wynn, Paulson, Roan, Terzi around the infield from first to third for Notre Dame. Bruno, Acciolo, and Gargiulo in the outfield from left to right. The bunt attempt is chopped foul by Pat Murphy. That was a pretty good pitch. The bunt right there is about chest high, and he chopped at it and knocked it foul towards the first base side. Shelton making their home on the first base side. And the Green Knights of Notre Dame with the sun in their eyes in the dugout on the third base side. Here comes the Zulo pitch as a swing and a miss. Might have been foul tip. Zulo back on top of the hill. Young man from Brantford, Connecticut. Eager to get the baseball. There goes the runner. Pitch a little high and outside. A throw down of the bag, and that's a strike by Burton and a put out of Justin Lynch caught stealing. Nice tag. Nice job all the way around by the infield for Notre Dame. They have 2 outs with Murphy at the plate. The count even at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Zulo into the windup and the 2-2 check swing. Pitch down low. Count goes full, 3-2. Zulo looking for the 1-2-3 inning with the help of that caught stealing. He's into the windup. Here comes a full count pitch. That ball fouled off. Murphy, the number 8 hitter in the lineup for this Shelton team. A year ago, Shelton finished tied for first in the Housatonic with Amity. And pitch a little high ball 4, second walk issued in the inning by Zulo. Now you got to run at first with 2 down. Number 9 hitter Eddie Groth stepping up to the plate, the catcher. Many feel Amity might be the best team in the state of Connecticut here in 2013. Well, Sal Coppola always puts out a pretty good squad, doesn't he? Amity on our broadcast schedule a little later this season. Looking forward to that. Also have Xavier on the schedule, Fairfield Prep on our broadcast schedule. Outfield just about straight away as Zulo will work from the stretch with 2 down. Runner on at first and a pitch in for the strike. Tyler Tice, the leadoff hitter for Shelton, awaits on deck here in the top of 2. Shelton leading it 1-0. The Zulo pitch, a little high. Groth tried to make himself small as he dipped down a little bit from the right-handed side. Outfield just about straight away. Infield is ready. Zulo, the pitch to the plate. That ball hit high in the air down the left field line, and it's going to drop in for a base hit. Fell in front of Bruno. As nice bit of hitting by Groth, and now you got runners at first and second with 2 down. That is the second hit of the ball game for Shelton. It brings up Tyler Tice. Had the infield single back on the first inning when he rolled one down to Paulson at second. So Shelton trying to put something together now with 2 outs here in the top of 2 and the 1-0 lead. Zulo trying to get out of the 2-out jam. And the pitch is in for the strike to Tyler Tice. Shelton in the Housatonic division with Amity, Sheehan, Cheshire, Lyman Hall. 22-5 a year ago in that Class L state championship. Zulo looking in for the sign from Burton. Runners lead from first and second. The pitch, check swing, strike call. Lynch reaching on the walk down at the bag at second. At first, he was caught stealing was Lynch. Pat Murphy walked down the bag at second, and Groth at first. There's a ball that's kind of lobbed out towards the shortstop. Nice play by Roan to go get it to the edge of the outfield grass. Nice rolling catch. And Tyson Company retired. I guess you'd have to call that a soft liner. Really soft. But anyhow, the big put out there. Good play by Roan. If he didn't get it, a run would have scored. All right, we are through 1.5. Shelton with a lead. 1-0 over the Green Knights of Notre Dame. Back with more on GoGreenKnights.com right after this message.
Seasonal maintenance and supplies. Visit our website at ivyleaguelandscaping.com.
I don't know. Doesn't work.
Many times bad things happen to good people. A car accident, a divorce, a loved one is arrested. Things you just can't prepare for. Zingaro and Cretella specialize in civil litigation, family law, and criminal defense. A leading New Haven and Fairfield County general practice law firm established in 2001, attorneys Gene Zingaro and Don Cretella, MD class of 1986, who thankfully is a much better lawyer than it was a receiver for me, will guide you and help you make an informed and rational decision in a difficult time. Visit them at www.theconnecticutdefenders.com. Zingaro and Cretella is a law firm you can trust.
Looks good, doesn't it? But you forgot something. All that saturated fat. Why not try Longini sausage instead? Other leading brands contain more than twice the saturated fat than Longini. Made with all natural ingredients, perfectly spiced with just enough salt, Longini sausage is the healthier choice. Made fresh locally in New Haven since 1950. Look for the Longini label in your grocer's fresh meat section.
New Haven Foot Surgeons and Milford Podiatry Associates specialize in medical and surgical care of the foot and ankle. They have a state-licensed surgical center with a physical therapy center available for all patients. Physicians include Notre Dame graduates David and Robert Novicki, along with Martin Pressman, James Krantz, and Jesse Parks. They are affiliated with the 3 major New Haven area hospitals, and they participate with most health insurance carriers. With locations in New Haven, Hamden, Milford, and Ansonia, New Haven Foot Surgeons and Milford Podiatry Associates is your GoGreenNight.com connection to healthier feet. Visit them online at MilfordPodiatry.com.
All right, right back here at beautiful Quigley Stadium as we move into the bottom of inning number 2. Green Knights of Notre Dame trying to battle back from a 1-0 deficit here in the bottom of the second inning against Testani out in the mound. Leading things off for the Green Knights of Notre Dame is Balabon, and he's retired. I was looking down right there, designated hitter retired. What did he do? 1 to 3 put out. So hit it back to the pitcher. Probably couldn't even see it anyhow, even if I was looking at it with that sun in your eyes. Henry's a little younger than me. So that's going to bring up to the plate Brian Gargiulo. Pitch in for the strike to Brian. So designated hitter Balabon is retired. Here comes the Testani pitch in for the strike call to Brian Gargiulo. Funny thing about baseball, right? Everybody says, oh, it's such a slow-moving sport. If you blink your eyes, you miss something. Am I right? I always shake my head when someone says it's such a slow game. Has a little chopper down to the bag at first, and Lynch will gobble that up, and he's retired. Here's Gargiulo, so quickly 2 away. That'll be 3 unassisted, 2 down. And that's going to bring up to the plate Zachary Corwick. That pitch is going to be hit on the ground, scooped up by Testani, and throws to the bag at first for the out. And the third baseman is retired. So that is going to do it. A 1-2-3 inning. 2 assists in the inning for Ryan Testani, fielding his position nicely. All right, we'll be back with more high school baseball right here on GoGreenKnights.com. Through 2, your score. It is 1-0. The Shelton Gales on top of Notre Dame.
Ivy League Landscaping is a family-owned, full-service design and build landscape company which services Southern Connecticut. We offer digital landscape design and installation. Our interlocking concrete paver system will add beauty to your patio and walkway. We share our location with our own Soundview Landscape Supply. Please visit us at 50 Industry Drive in West Haven. Ivy League Landscaping, from custom design to seasonal maintenance and supplies. Visit our website at ivyleaguelandscaping.com.
Many times bad things happen to good people. A car accident, a divorce, a loved one is arrested. Things you just can't prepare for. Zingaro and Cretella specialize in civil litigation, family law, and criminal defense. A leading New Haven and Fairfield County general practice law firm established in 2001, attorneys Gene Zingaro and Don Cretella, ND class of 1986, who thankfully is a much better lawyer than it was a receiver for me, will guide you and help you make an informed and rational decision in a difficult time. Visit them at www.theconnecticutdefenders.com. Zingaro and Cretella is a law firm you can trust.
All right, right back here as we move on to the top of inning number 3. Shelton enjoying a 1-0 lead over the Green Knights of Notre Dame. And leading things off here for Shelton will be the second baseman, Mike Cole, as he popped up his first time to the pitcher, Greg Zullo. Actually a sacrifice bunt attempt, and he popped it up. Catch was made by Zullo. That pitch in for the strike. Orsini on deck, Testani the follow here in the top of the third inning. Couple of hits in the ball game for Shelton. Zullo has walked a couple, struck out one through 2 full innings. Shelton scoring a run back on the first. The leadoff infield single by Tyler Tice put himself in scoring position with a stolen base, and then scored on the 2-out error to make it 1-0. Here comes the pitch. That ball was lobbed into right field for a base hit. Anchiolo will go over the field it, and that is a leadoff single. And for the second time in the ball game, Shelton with a leadoff runner on base. As Cole does a nice job. Cole on first now, and Orsini stepping up to the plate. Orsini struck out. He's 0 for 1. Marcelo Orsini, the center fielder. Throw to the bag at first and runner back. Ryan Testani on deck. Here comes the pitch, and that's going to be fouled off. Chased down by Burton, the catcher. We're in the top of the third inning. Whole slew of baseball games taking place. Athletic Director Tara Marcucci reporting in lacrosse play. Amity through 1 with a 4-0 lead over the Green Knights of Notre Dame. Amity now leading 6-2 at the half as that game moving right along. That's in boys lacrosse. Throw to the bag at first, diving on back is the second baseman, Michael Coel. Takes a lead from the bag. Here comes the pitch to the plate, and that's in there for the strike 3 call. Orsini strikes out for the second time in a pretty pitch by Greg Zullo as he caught him low and away, it looked like, from this angle. So he's caught looking. 1 down, 1 on, and Ryan Testani, who reached on an error which produced a run, back in the first, stepping up to the plate. He's been terrific out of the mound. Just getting back in time was Coel. As a good move by Zullo. Zullo looking in for the sign. Runner takes the lead away from the bag at first with 1 down. Testani awaits from the right side. The pitch, up and in for a ball. I like it when we broadcast down from behind home plate here at Quigley. Then we don't have to fight the sun in our eyes. Actually closer to the plate, too. Well, high above the third base bag today, right near our camera run by Ryan Versillo, one of the outstanding students at Notre Dame West Haven High School. Zullo again checks the runner at first. Here comes the pitch, and that's in there for the strike call to Testani. So you got 1 ball, 1 strike, 1 out. Runner down at first base here in the top of the third. Zullo, the windup and the pitch. tad high. Ryan Farrow on deck. Cowell leads. A throw to the bag at first. Just stepped back in time. Wynn thought he had put the tag on him right there. You could tell by the reaction across the way. Bringing you a one-camera shoot today. Kind of put this on the schedule last moment. Kind of felt guilty we weren't out here for opening day. And was actually going to come out and do a radio-type broadcast. And lo and behold, the guys show up. There's a pitch, a big swing and a miss by Testani. He started back towards the dugout. And then he comes on back here. I think he thought he had struck out. He was going for the fences right there. Here comes a Zulo pitch, and that is down low for ball. Count now full at 3-2 to Ryan Testani. How's that ball 4? Yeah, it's going to be ball 4, okay. He was as mixed up as I was. First game of the season. Runners at first and second now. And Mike Farrow to the plate. Fly ball out to end the first. He's 0 for 1. Left fielder today for Shelton. So they threaten with 1 down and 2 on. Base hit and a walk. That pitch in for the strike. That is the third walk issued today by Greg Zulo. He walked 2 back in the second. It didn't harm him at all. Zulo checks the runners. He's into the windup. And the pitch. That's low and away. Then back it on deck for Shelton. Here comes the pitch from Zulo. That ball hit high up in the air to the right fielder. Gargiulo floating back will make the catch and hurries the ball back to the infield to Paulson. So Farrell gave it a pretty good ride to right. Gargiulo found it quickly. Had it back into the shadows out there, the trees, to make the catch. And you have 2 down. Brings up Vinny Backett, who hit a fly ball out to right field. So that was a big out right there. Backett coming in, the third baseman. I see a lot of time this year. He's a senior. Here comes the pitch to the plate, and that's in for the strike. He had to wait for Ryan Zarnaski to retire from high school baseball before he got his chance here as a senior, but sticking with the game. Pitch to Backett. Down low. Notre Dame outfield remains just about straight away. Bruno in left. Archiolo playing center field today with the injury to Griffin Garabedian. Here comes the pitch to the plate. That's a tad high. Lou Kessler said before the game that Griffin's bat would be sorely missed. Young man moving on to play some college ball. I believe he's already committed to UConn. Is that right? So you got 2 outs, runners at first and second. Zulo taking his time out in the mound with the count full at 3 balls and 2 strikes. Zulo checked the runners at first and second. He'll step off, look them all back. Cowell down at the bag at second. At first base is Ryan Testani. Base hit and a walk and put 2 on here with 2 out. There goes the runners on the 3-2 pitch, and that just missed outside. Burton held it a long time for the umpire to see. Called ball 4, and the bases are loaded. So they move the first, second, and third here with 2 down. And Justin Lynch stepping up to the plate. He walked his first time, was caught stealing in a race from the base pass back in the second inning. Shelton leading at 1-0 here in the top of 3. The Zulo pitch to the plate, in for the strike call. They're on all the bags. Here comes the pitch. That's down low for a ball. Nowhere to put him. Now 1 strike to Justin Lynch. Lynch looking for a big hit. First baseman today for the Shelton Gales. Greg Zullo, the senior pitcher, into the windup, and there's a ground ball hit to third, scooped up and touch of the bag at third by Tersey for the out. So Justin Lynch will end the inning on the ground ball out, 5 unassisted, and that will do it. They leave him full in the third. We're through 2.5 in your score. Shelton leading Notre Dame 1-0. We'll be back with more right after these messages, so please stay with us.
Network Group, we are committed to offering simple and meaningful solutions to your complex problems. We work hard to achieve the highest levels of quality in our solutions to help your customers meet their challenging business needs. We're committed to delivering technology management solutions that offer security, reliability, availability, and performance. Visit our website, thebusinessnetworkgroup.com, for more information. Considering an orthodontic treatment for you or your children, Dr. Philip Caparuso, a Notre Dame parent of 4, is conveniently located at the end of the Milford Green. Dr. Caparuso is a board-certified orthodontist and a preferred Invisalign provider. A proud GoGreenKnight.com sponsor, you can visit Dr. Caparuso online at drcaportho.com or call 203-874-5400. Let Dr. Caparuso bring out your best smile.
Good morning, Curtis Ryan. Congratulations.
Hi, Curtis Ryan. I just brought my new Honda in for the first free oil change, and they're even washing it. We got such a great deal on that car, and everyone here is so easy to work with. Thank you, Curtis Ryan.
For a limited time, your first month's payment is on us, up to $500 on select 2012 models. Call Curtis Ryan in Shelton for details.
All right, welcome right back here to Quigley as we move on to the bottom of 3. And Notre Dame coming to the plate. Ryan Testani has been very good thus far, shutting down the Green Knights. Shelton with a 1-0 lead. They scored the run back in the first. Wesley Paulson will lead things off, the second baseman. And by the way, it looks like it is Corwick, by the way, playing third base and not Tersey. See, I had Troy in class, and he told me when he wasn't pitching, he was definitely going to be the third baseman. So when I saw the 2 number 9s, I took a look down there, couldn't see through the sunlight as it's gleaming into our eyes. And actually, it's Corwick playing third base and not Tersey. Corwick batting number 8 hitter in the lineup for Notre Dame here today. Brian Roan is on deck, and then Drew Archiolo scheduled to face Ryan Testani. Green Knights put together a couple of hits back in the first, but stranded runners at first and third. Really their best chance thus far. Slow roller hit down to the third baseman. It's going to be bobbled by Backett, and he hurries to throw across the diamond. He'll advise it gets away from the first baseman Lynch, and down to the bag at second goes Wesley Paulson. That is going to be E5, allowing Paulson to reach first and second. On the overthrow to the bag, he would have been better off just eating the baseball right there. Brings up the top of the order in Brian Roan, and chance now for the Green Knights of Notre Dame. So Notre Dame with a threat here with a leadoff runner down the bag at second. In the bottom of the third, the pitch to Roan is inside for ball, and a fly ball out to right his first time. Groth behind the plate. Lynch and Cole on the right side of the infield at first and second. They have Tyler Tice at shortstop, and Vin Backett at third base defensively for the Gales. That pitch down and in their familiar orange uniform tops. Sharp-looking caps. Got the orange bill on those black caps. Notre Dame threatening here. Ryan Testani trying to shut the door. Green Knights trailing 1-0. We're in the bottom of the third. That pitch in for the strike call to Roan. Roan, very versatile player, can play a couple of positions. Starting today at shortstop with Zullo out on the mound. Here comes the pitch to the plate, and Brian Rowan's going to foul that one off to the neighbor's yard, just off to the first base side behind home plate. Castani looking in. He can be deliberate out in the mound. Very confident right-hander. Checks the runners. Here comes the pitch to the plate, and that's up high. I believe he was part of that Shelton Little League team a couple years ago that warmed the hearts of all Connecticut residents with their terrific run. Castani takes a look. Here comes the pitch. That ball's going to be hit into shallow center field. Coming on the center fielder to make the catch, Ursini hurries to throw to the infield, and diving on back to the bag at second is Paulson. So Ursini charging that dipping liner, and Roan retired for the out. So they have one down runner at second. Drew Archiolo stepping up to the plate. Popped up to the second baseman his first time, so he's 0 for 1 in the season. Green Knights trailing here in the bottom of the third by 1-0. Castani into the windup and the pitch. And therefore the strike. Count goes 0-1. Greg Zullo on deck. Paulson reaching on an error to start the third in scoring position. First time in the ball game, Green Knights have put a leadoff runner on. Ground ball hit slowly down to the second baseman, who will advance the runner to the third, and out of the bag at first is Archiolo, 4-3. So Paulson 90 feet away from tying the game with Greg Zullo up. Zullo singled his first time, trying to help his own cause. He's the pitcher out in the mound today for Notre Dame. And Scott Gurra wants to come out and have a quick chat with his pitcher, Ryan Testani. Well, they got first base open, but then you have Brandon Wynn on deck, who had a base hit into the gap in right center field his first time. So it's going to be interesting to see what they do with Zullo here, and decision time for the Gales. There's a brief conversation. Castani with a long look in. Zullo with 2 down and a runner at third. Trying to tie the score here in the bottom of the third. And that pitch inside for ball 1. Count goes 1-0 to Greg Zullo. Win on deck. Bruno in the hole. Here in the bottom of the third inning. Light breeze blowing now. Late in the afternoon. It does settle just a bit. Here comes the pitch to the plate to Zullo. And it's in for the strike. And the count goes level at 1 ball and 1 strike. Notre Dame made it to the Class L tournament a year ago, was bounced in the first round by Jonathan Law. Lost by the score of 1-0. They went into the tournament 6th seeded. Here comes a pitch, and that ball is going to be hit up the middle for a base hit towards the gap in right center, and Zullo has himself a 2-out RBI base hit, and we're tied at 1. Some clutch hitting by Greg Zullo, and Paulson scores, so that error comes back to hurt. And it brings up Brandon Wynn, the first baseman. Wynn 1 for 1 with a base hit to the gap in right center his first time. So they decide to pitch to Zullo, and he rolls one through the right side of the infield and collects the RBI, and we're tied at 1. Zullo wants a jacket put on once again. So time called as he'll wrap himself up nice and warm. Pasqualino Bruno on deck. Wynn coming up to the plate. Senior first baseman. Has played a couple of seasons now for head coach Luke Kessler. Been quite a contributor. Here comes a pitch to Wynn, and that is inside ball 1. Groth behind the plate. Lynch and Cole on the right side of that infield. Tice and Backett on the left side. Furrow, Orsini, and Murphy in the outfield, left to right for Shelton. Here comes the pitch, and that is a strike call. A little check swing there by Brandon Wynn. Got that front foot up in front of home plate. Testani to work. From the stretch with the runner on. That's Zullo at first. Had the RBI base hit to not to score here in the bottom of the third inning. And pitch, the count rides to 2-1. Brandon Wynn. Testani into the windup. The pitch, the win, low and away. Count now 3 balls and 1 strike. Notre Dame threatened back on the first when they put 2 runners on with 2 outs on back-to-back hits by Zullo and Wynn. They went easy in the second, 1-2-3. Here comes the pitch, the win, and he fouls that off. It's a long way towards the concession stand and foul. Not doing much with Zullo at first. Looks like they're trying to advance him on a base hit by Wynn. Testani with a pretty good move to the bag at first. The runner creeps away, and that will be ball 4. The pitch up high in the 3-2 pitch to Wynn. So now got runners at first and second with 2 down, and Bruno to the plate. Bruno popped up to the shortstop back in the first. It ended the first. Swings at the pitch and hits this down the right field line. Could be trouble if it stays fair. It's going to float foul. So he took it the opposite way down the right field line, did Bruno. Pasqualino Bruno coming back to the plate, playing left field today for Notre Dame. He is a senior. Runners at first and second. Zullo with good speed at the bag at second. Wynn will take that lead from the bag at first. Testani to work from the stretch. Holds the glove high. The right-hander will step off and look Zullo back to the bag. Base hit, and Notre Dame will have the lead here in the bottom of the third inning. Mentioned earlier, these two teams split during the regular season a year ago. Here comes the pitch to the plate. And there's a ground ball hit down to the, actually going to be a line drive right to the shortstop. I can't tell if it's in the air or on the ground, but lined right at Tice. So Bruno hit it on the nose, but right at the shortstop, and that will end the inning. The big hit, Greg Zullo, 2-out single, driving home a run. In the inning, 1 run on a couple of hits. 2 runners left on. There was a costly error. We're through 3 complete, and your score, it is Notre Dame and Shelton tied at 1. Back with more high school baseball right here on GoGreenKnights.com.
Looks good, doesn't it? But you forgot something. All that saturated fat. Why not try Longini sausage instead? Other leading brands contain more than twice the saturated fat than Longini. Made with all natural ingredients, perfectly spiced with just enough salt, Longini sausage is the healthier choice. Made fresh locally in New Haven since 1950. Look for the Longini label in your grocer's fresh meat section.
New Haven Foot Surgeons and Milford Podiatry Associates specialize in medical and surgical care of the foot and ankle. They have a state-licensed surgical center with a physical therapy center available for all patients. Physicians include Notre Dame graduates David and Robert Novicki, along with Martin Pressman, James Krantz, and Jesse Parks. They are affiliated with the 3 major New Haven area hospitals, and they participate with most health insurance carriers. With locations in New Haven, Hamden, Milford, and Ansonia, New Haven Foot Surgeons and Milford Podiatry Associates is your GoGreenKnight.com connection to healthier feet. Visit them online at MilfordPodiatry.com.
Ivy League Landscaping is a family-owned, full-service design and build landscape company which services Southern Connecticut. We offer digital landscape design and installation. Our interlocking concrete paver system will add beauty to your patio and walkway. We share our location with our own Soundview Landscape Supply. Please visit us at 50 Industry Drive in West Haven. Ivy League Landscaping, from custom design to seasonal maintenance and supplies. Visit our website at ivyleaguelandscaping.com.
All right, welcome right back here. Just underway in the top of the 4th inning. The Shelton Gales coming back to the plate. Notre Dame and Shelton locked up at 1 through 3 full. Greg Zullo knocking home the game-tying run For Notre Dame in the bottom of the third. Shelton scored their only run in the first. Both teams taking advantage of early season errors to score their runs here. Leading things off is Pat Murphy. Murphy walked back in the second. Zullo out in the mound has walked 3 today unofficially. That pitch ground ball hit right back to Zullo. He'll field it to the third base side and onto the bag at first, and Murphy is retired on the play. 1-3, 1 down to start the fourth. Brings up the number 9 hitter, Eddie Groth. Groth singled back in the second inning, was stranded at the bag at first. Zullo has struck out 1, go along with those 3 walks. Looking at the New Haven Register preseason poll, Amity with the most first place votes. They finished 8th in the poll last year. Shelton seated 2nd, Bristol Central 3rd, New Canaan 4th, South Windsor 5th, Xavier 4, and Cromwell, Notre Dame, West Haven, and Greenwich rounding out the preseason top 10. That's all before they play 20 games. Groth swinging from the right side. Zullo into the windup and the pitch, and that's over for the strike call. Count goes to 1-2 strikes. Tyler Tice, a leadoff hitter for Shelton, on deck here in the top of the fourth inning. Into the windup. Greg Zullo, the pitch down low. Here's a ball that's hit down to the third baseman. It's knocked down by Corwick and slowed it down and perhaps prevented Groth from taking 2 as he knocked it down. So nice work by the third baseman, and that's going to be a 1-out single by Eddie Groth. Brings up the top of the order, and Tyler Tice, he's 1 for 2. Single, stole a base, scored a run back on the first. Run back in the first by Shelton, scored on a 2-out error. So now they have a runner on with 1 down, and Tice to the plate. Just want to mention one of our new sponsors, the GoGreenKnights.com, DKM, full-service painting company, owned by Notre Dame's own Don Martone, specializing in custom interior and exterior painting. Donnie's down the field right now. If you need your home painted inside or out, he can help you out at 203-843-5098. Throw to the bag at first, and they pick him off. Zullo's nearly got a couple other runners earlier, and right there, Groth has picked off the bag. And that's a big play. He's put out 1-3 on the pickoff, and now you have 2 down, and Tyler Tice to the plate now with the bases empty, which changes things around a little bit. On deck, number 2 hitter, second baseman Mike Coel. Outfield playing just about straight away for Notre Dame. Gets cool when that sun dips behind the clouds out there. Count now, 2 strikes. Here comes the pitch to the plate, and a swing and a miss, and a strikeout of Tyler Tice. That is the 3rd strikeout in the game for Greg Zullo. So with the help of the pickoff, nobody left on base. No runs. 1 hit. Nobody left on. We'll be back with the bottom of the 4th. Shelton and Notre Dame tied at 1 right here on GoGreenKnights.com.
Many times bad things happen to good people. A car accident, a divorce, a loved one is arrested. Things you just can't prepare for. Zingaro and Cretella specialize in civil litigation, family law, and criminal defense. A leading New Haven and Fairfield County general practice law firm established in 2001. Attorneys Gene Zingaro and Don Cretella, ND class of 1986, who thankfully is a much better lawyer than it was a receiver for me, will guide you and help you make an informed and rational decision in a difficult time. Visit them at www.theconnecticutdefenders.com. Zingaro and Cretella is a law firm you can trust.
Network Group, we are committed to offering simple and meaningful solutions to your complex problems. We work hard to achieve the highest levels of quality in our solutions to help your customers meet their challenging business needs. We're committed to delivering technology management solutions that offer security, reliability, availability, and performance. Visit our website, thebusinessnetworkgroup.com, for more information. Considering an orthodontic treatment for you or your children, Dr. Philip Caparuso, a Notre Dame parent of 4, is conveniently located at the end of the Milford Green. Dr. Caparuso is a board-certified orthodontist and a preferred Invisalign provider. A proud GoGreenKnight.com sponsor, you can visit Dr. Caparuso online at drcaportho.com or call 203-874-5400. Let Dr. Caparuso bring out your best smile.
Good morning, Curtis Ryan. Congratulations.
Hi, Curtis Ryan. I just brought my new Honda in for the first free oil change and they're even washing it. We got such a great deal on that car and everyone here is so easy to work with. Thank you, Curtis Ryan.
For a limited time, your first month's payment is on us. Up to $500 on select 2012 models. Call Curtis Ryan and Shelton for details.
All right, right back here at Quigley as just underway in the bottom of the fourth inning in a 1-1 game. Ground ball hit by Ballabon down to the shortstop, fielded by Tyson. Thrown across the diamond in time to get him, and there's one down. Ballabon now 0 for 2 on the afternoon. Has grounded out twice. Brings up Brian Gargiulo. Bounced out to the first baseman his first time. Just underway here in the bottom of the fourth inning, 1-1. Shelton with a run back in the first. Green Knights respond with a run in the bottom of the third inning. Ryan Testani, the right-hander on the mound, and the pitch as a ground ball chopped down to the shortstop. Good movement there by Tice. Able to square up on that ball and throw it across, and Gargiulo retired 2 down. Interesting, Testani faced this part of the batting order for Notre Dame. 6, 7, and 8 back in the second inning and got him 1, 2, 3 on relatively few pitches. And now he's getting a chance to do that again. Has Corwick up at the plate. Bounced one back to the pitcher Testani his first time, so he's 0 for 1. Zachary, a senior. Testani with the bases empty. Up high for ball 1 with a fastball. So the count goes 1 ball, no strikes. On deck, number 9 hitter Wesley Paulson for Notre Dame. There's a pitch. Down low. Outfielder straight away for the Shelton Gales here in the bottom of the fourth. Testani looking for the 1-2-3 inning. That pitch in there for the strike call. Count now at 2 balls and 1 strike. Ryan Testani's pitch to the plate. Ground ball hit down to the second baseman. Cole on the first in time, and a 1-2-3 inning for Ryan Testani as Cork retired 4-3. We'll be back with the top of 5. Shelton and Notre Dame. They're tied at 1 right here on GoGreenKnights.com. Back with more after these important words.
Looks good, doesn't it? But you forgot something. All that saturated fat. Why not try Longini sausage instead? Other leading brands contain more than twice the saturated fat than Longini. Made with all natural ingredients, perfectly spiced with just enough salt, Longini sausage is the healthier choice. Made fresh locally in New Haven since 1950. Look for the Longini label in your grocer's fresh meat section.
New Haven Foot Surgeons and Milford Podiatry Associates specialize in medical and surgical care of the foot and ankle. They have a state-licensed surgical center with a physical therapy center available for all patients. Physicians include Notre Dame graduates David and Robert Novicki, along with Martin Pressman, James Krantz, and Jesse Parks. They are affiliated with the 3 major New Haven area hospitals, and they participate with most health insurance carriers. With locations in New Haven, Hamden, Milford, and Ansonia, New Haven Foot Surgeons and Milford Podiatry Associates is your GoGreenKnight.com connection to healthier feet. Visit them online at MilfordPodiatry.com.
Ivy League Landscaping
All right, welcome back. Top of inning number 5. Greg Zullo and a pretty good pitching matchup here with Ryan Testani. Shelton to the plate. They scored their run way back in the first inning. There's a ball that's hit out in the right field, and Cole comes up with a leadoff base hit with that drive out to right. That's his second hit of the ball game. He is now 2 for 3. His first plate appearance, he tried the sacrifice bunt and popped it up to Zullo, but from that point on now, he's come up with a couple of base hits in his last 2 at-bats. Becomes a leadoff base runner here in the 5th inning for Marcelo Ursini, who was struck out twice. One swinging and one caught looking, as Greg Zullo has had his number here this afternoon. Ryan Testani awaits on deck. Here comes a pitch, and that's going to be out in the air to the right fielder, and it's going to be caught by Gargiulo for the out. So Ursini retired on a pitch. And you have one down with a runner at first, and Testani up to the plate. Reached on an error that brought home a run on the first, and he walked in the third. Into the windup is Zullo, and that pitch high and inside for ball 1. So you got 1 ball, no strikes to Testani. Mike Farrow on deck. And pitch down low. Just want to mention our good friends at Federico Insetti, a full-service accountant specialist. Whether it's corporate accounting or personal tax preparation, Federico Insetti are experts you can trust, led by Notre Dame graduates Michael in 82 and Mark in 72. Michael does a terrific job. He did my taxes the other day, and I actually went home with a smile. Can you believe that? So check him out. Federico Insetti. Linsetti, by the way, graduate of Sacred Heart, 1982. Give them a call at 203-248-9966. They'll treat you right. Here's a pitch fouled off by Testani. So the count now level at 2 balls and 2 strikes with a runner at first. Cole with that leadoff base hit. Out to right field, tucked it down the right field line. Throw to the bag at first, runner back. Zullo with a pickoff. That was a big one he had back in the 4th inning when he got Groth. He had singled with 1 out. Kind of stymied the attack of the Shelton Gales as we're in the 5th inning. Ground ball hit down to Roan. Fields it onto the bag at second for 1. The first for the double play. Well done. Roan, the Paulson to win. And that's a splendid 6-4-3 double play turned by the infield of the Green Knights of Notre Dame. We'll be back with the bottom of 5. Notre Dame and Shelton locked up in a good one. Tied at 1.
Is a family-owned, full-service design and build landscape company which services Southern Connecticut. We offer digital landscape design and installation. Our interlocking concrete paver system will add beauty to your patio and walkway. We share our location with our own Soundview Landscape Supply. Please visit us at 50 Industry Drive in West Haven. Ivy League Landscaping, from custom design to seasonal maintenance and supplies. Visit our website at ivyleaguelandscaping.com.
Many times bad things happen to good people. A car accident, a divorce, a loved one is arrested. Things you just can't prepare for. Zingaro and Cretella specialize in civil litigation, family law, and criminal defense. A leading New Haven and Fairfield County general practice law firm established in 2001, attorneys Gene Zingaro and Don Cretella, MD class of 1986, who thankfully is a much better lawyer than it was a receiver for me, will guide you and help you make an informed and rational decision in a difficult time. Visit them at www.theconnecticutdefenders.com. Zingaro and Cretella is a law firm you can trust.
Network Group, we are committed to offering simple and meaningful solutions to your complex problems. We work hard to achieve the highest levels of quality in our solutions to help your customers meet their challenging business needs. We're committed to delivering technology management solutions that offer security, reliability, availability, and performance. Visit our website, thebusinessnetworkgroup.com, for more information. Considering an orthodontic treatment for you or your children, Dr. Philip Caparuso, a Notre Dame parent of 4, is conveniently located at the end of the Milford Green. Dr. Caparuso is a board-certified orthodontist and a preferred Invisalign provider. A proud GoGreenNight.com sponsor. You can visit Dr. Caparuso online at drcaportho.com or call 203-874-5400. Let Dr. Caparuso bring out your best smile.
All right, right back here at Quigley as we move on to the bottom of inning number 5 in a game that began at 4 o'clock, so I'm not going to say it, but kind of moving right along. As we move into the bottom of the 5th inning, Wesley Paulson to lead things off. Reached an error to start the 3rd and eventually scored the game-tying run for Notre Dame when Greg Zullo came up with that clutch 2-out RBI base hit. Into the bottom of the 5th we go. Ryan Testani and Greg Zullo matched up in a pretty good pitches duel. Testani into the windup and the pitch in there for the strike. Second plate appearance by Paulson. Notre Dame did have a pair of hits back in the 1st inning. They went quietly in the 2nd and in the 4th, going 1-2-3. Here comes the pitch to the plate, and that's a ground ball hit down to the charging shortstop. Scooped up by Tice onto the bag at first in time. And Wesley Paulson is retired 6-3 to start the bottom of the 5th inning. So you have one down. Notre Dame in their inning in which they scored the run. Let me see. You had the runner reach on an error, the single by Zullo, and you had a walk. 2 runners stranded back in the 3rd inning. They've only had 3 hits off of Ryan Testani. That pitch is in for the strike. Testani has not struck out a batter today. And he's been splendid with his control. I believe he's not walked one here into the 5th. Brian Rohn to lead things off. Well, he's a leadoff hitter with 1 out, so he has hit a fly ball out, a line drive out. Hit a sinking liner to the center fielder as Ursini came on and made a nice play on that, and fly ball out to right. His first plate appearance. Leadoff hitter for Notre Dame with 1 down. Chops that one to the 3rd baseman. It's going to be charged by Backett, the throw, this time in time for the out. That was similar to the play back in the 3rd when Paulson reached in the error. Actually took 2 bases as it was dropped by Backett. Then he heard it throw along, got away from the first baseman, and Paulson ended up at second, eventually scoring. But that time it was fielded nicely by Backett as he took care of business, and Rohn retired 5-3, 2 down, and Drew Archiolo coming up to the plate. Drew in the ballgame 0 for 2 has popped up to the second baseman, hit a ground ball out the second. Count goes 1 ball and no strikes. Greg Zullo on deck. Testani looking in for the sign. The right-hander with 2 down, the base is empty, looking for 2 consecutive 1-2-3 innings. Slow roller. Tice will pick it up in the hole. Long throw across. Not in time. It's going to get away. And down to the bag at second goes Archiolo. There's a long throw by Tice, and it sank down below Lynch's glove. Lynch had to go chase it off the carom off the fence there, and Archiolo ends up at second. So that'll be recorded as an infield base hit. E6 allowing the runner to go to the second base. So that's the second error in the game by Shelton, and now with 2 outs, Greg Zullo back up to the plate. He had an RBI base hit with 2 outs in the 3rd, and he's looking for another here. This would give Notre Dame the lead here in the bottom of the 5th inning. And they're going to intentionally walk Greg Zullo. And as we remember in high school baseball, all begins to come back on the intentional walk. You don't actually have to throw pitches, which you probably should. I mean, a lot of things can happen. So Brandon Wynn to the plate. Wynn today had 1 for 1 with a base hit in the 1st. He walked in the 3rd. And the senior first baseman up in a big spot here for Notre Dame in the bottom of the 5th inning. As the Green Knights looking for their first lead of the ball game. They trail 1-0 after 1. And what a chance here for Wynn and company. Runners lead from the bags at first and second. Testani into the windup, and the pitch is up high for a ball. Ryan Testani without a strikeout today. And boy, he'd love one right here. Although a fly ball out, ground ball out, just the same. But anytime it's hit, obviously there's a chance for an error. That ball's going to be whacked into left field. It's going to go past the left fielder, chased down by Farrow. 1 run will score. Here comes another Zullo being waved on home, and the throw will come to the infield without a toss back to home. And that is a 2-run double by Brandon Wynn with 2 outs. and Notre Dame will take a 3-1 lead. The 2-out error proving costly. Actually, that was an infield base hit in the error. And then the intentional walk to Zullo, and then Wynn coming up with a 2 RBI double into left field. He scorched it past Mike Farrow. And Notre Dame has the lead at 3-1. It's going to bring up to the plate Bruno. Pasqualino Bruno, the left fielder, has popped up to the shortstop, lined one softly to short. And Notre Dame's going to bring on a pinch runner for Wynn. Of course, they do have re-entry here at the high school level as Christopher Stankiewicz will come on, the sophomore, to run for Notre Dame. So he's down to the bag at second, and Bruno to the plate. Notre Dame with 2 here in the 5th. Try to get off to the quick start here against the defending Class Double L state champion Shelton Gales. Although this edition of the Gales baseball team much younger and less experienced than last year's team. That pitch a little high. They lost a total of 3 all-star type players from their roster a year ago. Notre Dame, on the flip side, lost 4 outstanding players from last year's roster. Testani into the windup and the pitch. That ball's going to be popped up and fouled off, out of play. Count goes to 2 balls and 1 strike to Bruno. On deck for Notre Dame, Zachary Ballabon. Well, a lot of question marks early part of the season, especially when you go with a lot of young players in your lineup. And for both Scott Gura and for Luke Kessler, some of those questions being answered here today on a swing and a miss there by Bruno. Outfield just about straight away for Shelton. It's been that way the entire game. Infield is at normal depth. Runner down at second base. 2 outs. Notre Dame leading here in the 5th. That ball fisted to the first baseman. Going to be fielded on the short hop by Lynch, and he'll win the race to the bag at first. And Bruno is retired, 3 unassisted. But the big hit in the inning, Brandon Wynn with a 2-out double, driving home 2, and Notre Dame takes a 3-1 lead into the top of the 6th. We'll be back with the top of the 6th inning right here on GoGreenKnights.com right after these important words.
Good morning, Curtis Ryan. Congratulations.
Hi, Curtis Ryan. I just brought my new Honda in for the first free oil change, and they're even washing it. We got such a great deal on that car, and everyone here is so easy to work with. Thank you, Curtis Ryan.
For a limited time, your first month's payment is on us. Up to $500 on select 2012 models. Call Curtis Ryan and Shelton for details.
All right, welcome right back here to Quigley. As going through the warm-ups out there in the mound is Greg Zullo. Now pitching with a lead for the first time of the ball game. Recapping the scoring for you, Shelton scored a run back in the first to take a 1-0 lead. It was an unearned run in the inning. You had the leadoff single by Tyler Tice. He stole a base, and with 2 outs, Ryan Testani's ground ball was booted, and a run would score. And they had a run up on the board for the 1-0 lead. Notre Dame came back with a run in the 3rd on an unearned run. Paulson reaching on really a 2-base error back in the 3rd inning. And that started the little bit of a rally there. Greg Zullo with a clutch 2-out base hit. And just moments ago in the bottom of the 5th, Brandon Wynn with a 2-run double to give Notre Dame a lead at 3-1. Here comes the pitch to the plate. Leading things off is Mike Farrow. Farrow in the ball game 0 for 2, couple of fly ball outs to right field. And then back and on deck, then Justin Lynch scheduled to follow here for the Shelton Gales. That pitch is in for the strike from Zullo. Zullo gave up a run back in the 1st on a 1-base hit. Struggled with his control in the 2nd when he gave up base hit and actually walked 2 in the inning. But he was able to survive all that. Caught stealing. Good throw by Burton. Really a key play back in the second inning, shutting down the Shelton Gales. Here comes the pitch, and that is inside ball 4. As the 4th walk issued. Azula walked a batter in the 3rd. Now he has walked one here in the 5th. He's given up a total of, well, let's see, 4 hits in the ball game. Got a double play ball from his infield back in the 5th inning, so he has struck out 3. And Luke Kessler coming out to have a chat with Greg Zullo and the catcher, Aiden Burton, right now. You don't want to put those leadoff guys on via walk. Right into the 6th inning. Kessler's going to stick with Zullo. And he has something to say now to Aiden Burton, his young catcher. Aiden is a junior. He's already thrown out a base runner today. So a big moment here in the ball game. Let's see how aggressive Shelton will be on the base pass as we move on here to the top of the inning, number 6. 1 on and nobody out. Shelton needs a couple of runs to get back into this thing, trailing 3-1. Zullo to work from the stretch will soft toss one of the bag at first, and Farrow, who is on base for the first time today, is back to the bag. Vinny Backett on deck. Actually, Backett to the plate now. And he swings, and there's a ball hit in the center field. Will drop in for a base hit. To throw the bag at second, and nearly got him there as he's hesitating. Was Farrow on the hit to center by Backett. As looked like Acciolo might have a chance on that. But it goes as a base hit, so a walk and a single, and all of a sudden Shelton threatening with nobody out. Brings up Justin Lynch. Lynch's walk, gunned down, caught stealing, and grounded out to the 3rd baseman, which ended the 3rd. Unassisted put out at the bag at 3rd. Forced the runner at 3rd base to end the 3rd inning. That pitch is in for the strike to Justin Lynch. First baseman. 0 for 1 in the afternoon. Number 7 hitter in the lineup for Shelton. Infield comes in at the corners. A bunt hit hard right back to Zullo. His only play, however, to the bag at first as they wheeled over the second baseman, Paulson. And Justin Lynch retired on the sacrifice bunt. But he got the job done. He moves 2 in the scoring position here in the 6th inning. Pat Murphy stepping up to the plate. He has walked and tapped one back to Zullo. So Furrow goes to the bag at 3rd. Backett up to the bag at 2nd. And a base hit could potentially tie the score here. Zullo's pitch to the plate, in for the strike call. Zullo with 3 strikeouts, 1 in the 1st. He had 1 in the 3rd and 1 in the 4th inning. Scott Gura wants to have a quick chat with Pat Murphy, the right fielder. Pat Murphy, a junior. Runners lead from the bags, 2nd and 3rd for the Shelton Gales. Here comes a pitch to the plate, and that's going to be outside. Count goes to 1 ball and 1 strike. Dan Alvarado doing spectacular work on the pitch count for us today. Here's a pitch outside. And Ryan Varillo putting up with all the elements. The sun right into his eyes, right into the camel lens, right here into the press box. Doing a great job on that camera, lone camera high above the 3rd base back. There's a swing and a miss. Pitch veering away from right-handed hitter Pat Murphy. Eddie Groth on deck for Shelton. Here comes the pitch, and there's a swing and a miss and a big strikeout of Murphy. That is the 4th strikeout of the ball game for Zullo, and did that come at a great time. So now you have 2 out and 2 on. Runners at 2nd and 3rd, and Groth coming up to the plate. We'll see a pinch runner come on now for the Shelton Gales. If we can pick up his number, we'll let you know who it is. And it looks like it's Mike Ficano, a sophomore. So Ficano on the run at the bag at second. So you would imagine he has some speed down there for head coach Scott Gura. Big chance here for Shelton, down 3-1 to Notre Dame to get back into it in the top of the sixth inning. Zulo with a gigantic strikeout a moment ago. There's a pitch, ground ball, hit the run, the shortstop, throw across the diamond, and he got it there. Good work by Notre Dame, and Greg Zulo getting out of the jam. Boy, he had 2 on and 1 out. Runners at second and third, and Shelton comes up empty in the top of the sixth inning of play. We'll be back with the bottom half of the sixth. Notre Dame 3 and Shelton 1 right here on GoGreenKnights.com.
Looks good, doesn't it? But you forgot something. All that saturated fat. Why not try Longini sausage instead? Other leading brands contain more than twice the saturated fat than Longini. Made with all natural ingredients, perfectly spiced with just enough salt, Longini sausage is the healthier choice. Made fresh locally in New Haven since 1950. Look for the Longini label in your grocer's fresh meat section.
New Haven Foot Surgeons and Milford Podiatry Associates specialize in medical and surgical care of the foot and ankle. They have a state-licensed surgical center with a physical therapy center available for all patients. Physicians include Notre Dame graduates David and Robert Novicki, along with Martin Pressman, James Krantz, and Jesse Parks. They are affiliated with the 3 major New Haven area hospitals, and they participate with most health insurance carriers. With locations in New Haven, Hamden, Milford, and Ansonia, New Haven Foot Surgeons and Milford Podiatry Associates is your GoGreenKnight.com connection to healthier feet. Visit them online at MilfordPodiatry.com.
Ivy League Landscaping is a family-owned, full-service design and build landscape.
All right, welcome right back here. I shut off Ivy League Landscaping with a quick flick of the finger there by accident, but gives us a chance to talk about our good friends Federico and Setti, your full-service accountant specialist, whether it's corporate accounting or personal tax preparation. Federico and Setti are experts you can trust, led by Notre Dame graduates Michael, graduated in 82, and Mark, 72. Federico's, as well as Lynn Setti of Sacred Heart, 1982. Federico and Setti have many ND alum as clients. Proud GoGreenKnight.com sponsor. Contact Federico and Setti at 203-248-9966, or you can email him, Michael at FedericoSettiCPA.com. And I highly suggest giving the folks a call, because they'll treat you right. As we move on here to the bottom of inning number 6, Notre Dame, they own a 3-1 lead at this point against a very clever pitcher in Ryan Testani. At the 2-out, 2-run double by Wynn in the 5th inning, a big hit, and Greg Zulo with a 2-out RBI base hit back in the 3rd, accounting for the Notre Dame runs. Zachary Balaban to lead things off, the designated hitter. Swinging from the right side. He's 0 for 2 against Ryan Testani today. Here comes a pitch, and he pounds that one down to the third baseman. It's going to be scooped up by Backett to throw across the diamond, and got it there in time. And there's one down to start the bottom of the 6th inning. Brings up Brian Gargiulo. He's 0 for 2 with a couple of ground ball outs. Notre Dame with 2 big hits. It was a walk in that 2-run 5th inning. They leave a runner on. I've had a total of 5 hits today. Gargiulo, the right fielder. Looking in, the right-hander Ryan Testani. He's into the windup, and the pitch. Ball hit high up into the air. It's going to stay in the infield. Second baseman is on, and it's put away for the out. So Gargiulo is retired on a pop up to second base. Mike Cowell putting it away. And it brings up Zach Corwick. Corwick in the ball game has grounded out twice, so he's 0 for 2, although we may see a pinch hitter come on here for Notre Dame. Yep, Mike Corso coming on the bat. So Corso to hit for Corwick. making his first plate appearance here in 2013. Corso, a sophomore. Here comes the pitch, and it's in there for the strike call. He's at the plate with 2 out, nobody on here in the bottom of the 6th. Looking ahead for Shelton, down by a couple of runs in the top of the 7th inning. It's set up to make a run here with Tice, Cowell, and Ursini, 1, 2, and 3, scheduled to face Greg Zullo. That ball lofted high up in the air to the right fielder. Murphy makes the catch, and Corso is retired. That's going to do it. A 1-2-3 inning for Ryan Testani, the third one of those he has had here today. So Shelton coming to the plate in the top of the 7th, trailing Notre Dame 3-1. It'll be Tice, Cowell, and Ursini, the scheduled hitters. Back with more. The top of the 7th right after these messages on GoGreenKnights.com.
Landscape Company, which services Southern Connecticut. We offer digital landscape design and installation. Our interlocking concrete paver system will add beauty to your patio and walkway. We share our location with our own Soundview Landscape Supply. Please visit us at 50 Industry Drive in West Haven. Ivy League Landscaping, from custom design to seasonal maintenance and supplies. Visit our website at ivyleaguelandscaping.com.
Many times bad things happen to good people. A car accident, a divorce, a loved one is arrested. Things you just can't prepare for. Zingaro and Cretella specialize in civil litigation, family law, and criminal defense. A leading New Haven and Fairfield County general practice law firm established in 2001, attorneys Gene Zingaro and Don Cretella, MD class of 1986, who thankfully is a much better lawyer than it was a receiver for me, will guide you and help you make an informed and rational decision in a difficult time. Visit them at www.theconnecticutdefenders.com. Zingaro and Cretella is a law firm you can trust.
All right, welcome right back. Just underway here in the top of 7. Tyler Tice to lead it off for Shelton. 7-inning ball games here at the high school level. Tice in the ball game singled and scored back in the first. Got himself in a scoring position with a stolen base. And lined out and struck out. So Tice 1 for 3 with a run scored, leading things off here in the top of the 7th inning. Greg Zullo looking for the complete game victory. Fires a strike. Zullo had 4 strikeouts today. Has had a little bit of a control issue, but has been able to overcome. Pitch to Tice. Ground ball hit down to shortstop. Roan will scoop and throw across. Good stretch by Wynn, and Tice with speed will beat it out. That base hit he had back in the first was an infield single. And he uses that speed again to beat the strong, accurate throw by Brian Roan. And he's on with a leadoff single. It brings up the number 2 hitter, Mike Cowell. Cowell in the ball game. Tried to lay down a sacrifice bunt and popped it up back in the first. He has singled a couple of times, so he is 2 for 3. And that pitch is in for the strike call. Ursini on deck, Testani in the hole for the Shelton Gales. We're here in the top of the 7th inning. Greg Zullo to work from the stretch with the leadoff runner on. Swing and a miss. Count 0-2 to Mike Cole. Cowell, the right-handed hitter. Infielders is set. Zullo to work from the stretch. The pitch to the plate. In there for the strike 3 call. He struck him out. Beat him with a fastball. And that is the 5th strikeout of the ball game for Greg Zullo, who has walked 4 today. He's only allowed 5 hits. Not more than 1 hit in an inning has been part of the key to his success today. Got a double play ball. Ursini up, pitch in for the strike. Ursini has struck out a couple of times, hit a fly ball out. Run it down at first. Here comes the pitch to the plate, and that's fouled off. Dribble toward the first base dugout. Right fielder Gargiolo is a rather deep. Center fielder Gargiolo straight away. That pitch in for the strike. And there's a strikeout of Ursini. 2 consecutive strikeouts for Greg Zullo here in the 7th. He's up to 6 in the ball game now. Brings up Ryan Testani. Hit into an inning-ending double play back in the 5th, 6-4-3. Swings at the pitch. Ground ball hit the road. He can't find it. It's between the wickets, and everybody's safe. Tice in the bag at second. Testani safe at first. That will go as E6. Second error committed by Notre Dame here today. And it brings up Mike Farrow. Farrow in the ball game has walked, hit a couple of fly ball outs. Now you got 2 on and 2 out here in the top of the 7th for Shelton. They trail 3-1. So now 6 hits in the ball game officially. As I update my scorebook for Shelton. A base hit in the 1st, 1 the 2nd. They had 1 the 3rd, 1 the 4th, 1 the 5th, 1 the 6th. Now here 1 the 7th. I guess that's 7 hits overall if I'm adding them up right. Had a base hit in every inning. Here comes the pitch in there for the strike call. Zulo's been able to work out of a couple of problems here today. He's into the windup and the pitch. Ground ball. Hit down to the third baseman. It's fielded by Corwick. The throw across in plenty of time for the out, and the Green Knights of Notre Dame will come away with a hard-fought, come-from-behind 3-1 win over the Shelton Gales. We'll take a quick break. We'll be back with our brief scoring recap right after these messages on GoGreenKnights.com. Notre Dame 3, Shelton 1.
Network Group, we are committed to offering simple and meaningful solutions to your complex problems. We work hard to achieve the highest levels of quality in our solutions to help your customers meet their challenging business needs. We're committed to delivering technology management solutions that offer security, reliability, availability, and performance. Visit our website, thebusinessnetworkgroup.com, for more information. Considering an orthodontic treatment for you or your children, Dr. Philip Caparuso, a Notre Dame parent of 4, is conveniently located at the end of the Milford Green. Dr. Caparuso is a board-certified orthodontist and a preferred Invisalign provider. A proud GoGreenKnight.com sponsor, you can visit Dr. Caparuso online at drcaportho.com or call 203-874-5400. Let Dr. Caparuso bring out your best smile.
All right, welcome right back here to Quigley. Nice win by Notre Dame on opening day, 3-1 over the Shelton Gales. For Shelton, 1 run on 7 hits, 1 error. For Notre Dame, 3 runs on 5 hits. They made a couple of errors in the ball game. Shelton actually took a 1-0 lead, scored their only run back in the 1st inning. Leadoff infield single by Tyler Tice. He stole a base to get in the scoring position. Then with 2 out, Ryan Testani reached on an error and allowed Tice to score to the error, and it was 1-0. After that, they had a base hit in every inning. And they were afforded a couple of walks here and there by Zulo, as Zulo in the ball game walked a total of 4, but certainly did not hurt him. He had the strikeout pitch going, and he got it when need be here today, including 2 strikeouts for a total of 6. He had 2 strikeouts in the 7th for a total of 6 overall. Hard luck loser will be Ryan Testani. He did not allow a run until Notre Dame scored in the 3rd inning, and there was an RBI base hit by Greg Zulo. In the inning, you had the walk to Brandon Wynn, and then the line out by Bruno, line out by Roan, and it certainly doesn't make sense to me. Archeolo with a ground ball out. So I must have messed up. Yeah, first day scoring. But anyways, it was a... Oh, okay, Wynn did not lead it off. That's why. Yeah, lead off. Here we go. Now I got it right for you, folks. It was Paulson leading off the 3rd inning, the number 9 hitter, reaching on a 2-base error down to the bag at second. Then Roan and Archeolo a line out and a ground ball out. Zulo to the plate with 2 outs and came up with the RBI base hit. Then Wynn had the base hit and Bruno the line drive out. And that, not at the score at 1, that clutch 2-out base hit by Greg Zulo. They move on to the 5th inning, and with 2 outs, with Brandon Wynn coming up with a 2-run double to cement the win for the Green Knights of Notre Dame by the score of 3-1. So Notre Dame improves to 1-0. Shelton drops to 0-1, and Notre Dame We've got some baseball upcoming in the near future here, and we'll tell you which game is our next broadcast game. As Notre Dame will play again after they win today. They play Thursday at North Haven, 4 o'clock start, and then they got back home here against Cheshire on Saturday here at Quigley, a 1 o'clock first pitch. Our next GoGreenKnight.com broadcast will be Wednesday, April 10th, here at Quigley when they take on their arch rival, the West Haven Blue Devils. So for the entire crew, Ryan Varillo, great work on the camera, and my man Dan Alvarado, great work behind the scenes. Your final score one more time. The Green Knights of Notre Dame, they win their season opener. They come from behind. They beat Shelton by the score of 3-1. Goodbye, everybody. Mm-hmm.